Have you ever looked at your bank account on a Tuesday night and wondered if you were secretly being robbed? You haven't bought anything extravagant, you haven't been on a holiday, you just paid your bills, bought your groceries and kept the lights on. Yet, somehow, the money's just gone.
You aren't imagining things, and you aren't going crazy. You are just living in Australia in 2026. Right now, the entire Australian economy is operating like a giant vacuum cleaner, positioned directly over your wallet. We are being boiled alive like frogs in a pot, conditioned to accept price hikes, hidden fees and absolute rip-offs as just a normal part of modern life. But at a certain point, you have to look at the system, draw a line in the sand and simply say, no.
Wealth isn't just about how much money you can earn. It is mostly about how much of your own money you refuse to surrender to people who don't deserve it. Today, I'm going to walk you through 5 specific things in this country that have crossed the line from expensive to downright predatory. These are the financial traps that keep the middle class completely broke. I absolutely refuse to buy them anymore, and by the end of this video, you will probably stop buying them too. Let's start with the ultimate Australian wealth destroyer. You're sitting at a red light and the bloke next to you pulls up in a brand new $90,000 dual cab ute. It's got the massive wheels, the shiny bull bar, and it has never seen a single speck of actual dirt. Society wants you to look at that car and think, wow, that guy's doing well. I look at that car and see a financial tragedy, because the brutal truth is that bloke probably doesn't own that car. A bank owns it. In 2026, with interest rates sitting where they are, financing a depreciating asset to look rich is a form of financial suicide. If you sign up for an $80,000 car loan at 9% interest over 5 years, you aren't just paying 80 grand. You are paying thousands of dollars in interest just for the privilege of driving a hunk of metal that loses 20% of its value the absolute second you drive it off the dealership lot. By the time you make your final loan payment 5 years from now, you will have paid nearly 100 grand for a car that is now worth 35. You literally set $65,000 on fire just so the neighbours would think you were successful. I refuse to play this game. A car is a tool to get you from point A to point B safely. A 10-year-old Toyota Corolla does the exact same job as a brand new European SUV, but it comes with a superpower. You own it outright. You don't lose sleep over a scratch on the door, and you don't owe the bank a cent. Stop financing your own poverty to impress people who do not care about you. Let me be very clear. Basic hospital cover? That makes sense. It protects you from the public waiting lists if you blow out your knee or need surgery. It helps you dodge the Medicare levy surcharge. That is a smart defensive move. But extras cover? That is one of the greatest mathematical scams in the country. Pull out your policy right now and look at the numbers. You are likely paying an extra $1,000 or $1,500 a year just to have dental, optical and physio included. Then you go to the dentist for a checkup. The bill is $200. You proudly hand over your health fund card, the machine beeps, and the fund covers $80. You still have to pay $120 out of your own pocket. Do the math on this. You are paying the insurance company $1,500 a year just so they can occasionally hand you back $80. The health funds rely entirely on a metric called breakage. They build their entire business model on the absolute certainty that you will be too busy or too lazy to claim back the full amount of money you gave them.
This one hurts my soul because it strikes right at the heart of Australian culture. There used to be a time when going down to the local pub for a schnitzel and a pint was a cheap, cheerful way to end the week. Today, it is an absolute daylight robbery. You walk into a modern, renovated Australian pub. There is no one behind the bar to take your order.
Instead, there is a sticky QR code slapped in the middle of your table. You pull out your phone, you squint at a digital menu that keeps crashing, and you are forced to order your own food through an app. You find the chicken parmigiana. It is $38 for a piece of frozen chicken, some ham, and a handful of chips that taste like cardboard. But the insult doesn't stop there. When you go to pay on your phone, the app automatically adds a 1.5% credit card surcharge. Then it has the absolute audacity to prompt you for a tip. A tip! For a meal you ordered yourself on a computer and picked up yourself from a vibrating buzzer on the counter. I absolutely refuse to participate in this. I am not paying $38 for a pub feed that costs $4 to make in the kitchen, especially when the pub has replaced all its actual human staff with iPads and QR codes. If I want to pay $40 for a meal, I will go to a proper restaurant where a waiter actually looks me in the eye and asks how my day was. Otherwise, I'm staying home and cooking a steak on my own barbecue. You walk into the giant supermarket duopoly that controls this country. You're walking down the aisle looking for basic pantry staples: oats, flour, sugar, salt. Sitting on the shelf is a brightly coloured box of oats with a fancy logo, a picture of a smiling farmer, and a price tag of $7. Right next to it, on the bottom shelf, is the generic home brand bag of oats in plain packaging. It costs $2. If you pick up the $7 box, you have just paid the brand tax. Here is a dark little secret of the Australian food industry. In many cases, the fancy brand name product and the cheap generic product roll off the exact same assembly line, in the exact same factory. They put one batch into a shiny box and the other batch into a plain plastic bag. You are literally paying an extra $5 for ink and cardboard. The supermarkets spend millions of dollars on psychological warfare. They put the most expensive brands right at your eye level. They put bright yellow special stickers on items that have only been discounted by 10 cents, tricking your brain into thinking you were getting a bargain. They rope you into loyalty programs where they track every single item you buy just to give you $10 off after you spend $2,000. I refuse to be played like a fool in the grocery aisle. Stop buying the marketing. Buy the generic staples. Stop paying a premium just because a company spent millions on a television commercial to convince you their flour is somehow magically superior. It is flour. Buy the cheap one and keep your own money. Finally, let's talk about the trap waiting for you when you decide to downsize. You sell the big family home. You decide you want an easier life, so you buy a luxury 2-bedroom apartment in a shiny new building. The real estate agent walks you through, they show you the pristine swimming pool, the rooftop barbecue area, and the private gym on the ground floor. It feels like living in a resort. Until you get your first body corporate bill. I know retirees who are paying $10,000, $12,000, even $15,000 a year in strata fees. Let me translate that for you. You bought a house outright, but you are still paying $300 a week in rent. You are paying to heat a swimming pool that you might dip your toe into twice a year. You are paying for a gym that you never use. You are paying thousands of dollars into a sinking fund because the building was constructed with cheap materials and the roof's already leaking after 5 years. And you have absolutely no control over it. If the strata committee votes to repaint the entire building in a colour you hate, you have to hand over a special levy of $5,000 to pay for it. I refuse to buy into the modern strata nightmare. If you want a smaller place, buy a simple ground floor villa, a townhouse, or a small block of land where you are the boss. No lifts, no shared pools, no massive strata management company skimming your retirement savings. Peace of mind means owning the dirt you stand on and not answering to a committee of angry neighbours. The system relies on you being asleep at the wheel. It relies on you swiping your card without looking at the price, signing the loan document without reading the interest rate, and paying the hidden fees because you think you have no choice.
You always have a choice. The moment you start treating your money with a bit of ruthless disrespect toward the people trying to take it from you, your entire life changes. You stop leaking cash. Your savings accounts start to grow. The anxiety in your chest starts to disappear.
You don't need a massive salary to become wealthy in Australia. You just need the discipline to stop buying garbage. So I have a question for you, and I want you to answer it right now. Think about your own life, your own budget, and the things that make your blood boil. What is the one thing in Australia that you absolutely refuse to buy anymore? Go down to the comments and tell me. Vent your frustration. I am going to read every single one, and I'll reply to you down there. Let's see what the biggest rip-off in the country really is.
If this video gave you a wake-up call, do me a favour. Hit the like button so this video gets pushed to more Aussies who need to hear it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel because we are dropping brutal, honest financial truths every single week, and we are just getting started. I'm the Retired Aussie. Thanks for watching, keep your wallet closed, and I'll see you in the next one.